Two bros chilling in the hot tub.
You the twos and we the ones? Well, you are the biggest two of them all, my dog. That's what you are. You are a giant number two.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Two Bros Podcast. As always, I am Bryce, and I am joined along by...
I'm Matt. I'm the one regretting my Wizards pick.
Okay, so as you heard by his Wizards comment, we are talking NBA. We are in week 2, and we have some takeaways that we are going to talk about. So, let's start off with the first one with some NBA injuries. First is Walker Kessler is out for the season with a shoulder injury. What does this look like for the Jazz? What does this look like for teams who are potentially going to trade for him? More importantly, what does this look like for Lauri Markkanen?
So the Jazz were having a pretty decent year before Walker Kessler's injury. They were beating teams no one expected them to beat. So Walker Kessler going down takes away any real competitive nature they have. This ends up helping Lauri Markkanen a lot because he kind of wanted out anyways. When the Jazz start to be worse and worse, you're going to see them look very, very highly on trading him. So I would not be surprised if this is the move. This is the injury that makes it where they're going to trade him for sure.
I was thinking that potentially maybe this makes it to where he doesn't get traded, because that's right at the moment they are 3-4, and now maybe they'll think that he's more valuable than ever, and they're going to need him if they want to potentially win some games. And I don't think that this is going to help his trade value. I only think it hurts it.
I mean, I think he's already the number one option, but now he's arguably their number one big as well. This really puts a lot of stress on Ace Bailey, in my opinion, who has just not been good. Of course, he's a rookie, he's a young guy, but he has not been good, who now has to step up even more with their clear second option out.
Mm-hmm. So next one involves Anthony Edwards because he's returning from his ankle injury tonight versus the Knicks. What does this do for the Timberwolves, who are already looking good as it is?
We all knew the Timberwolves were contenders, and they, overall their season was going to be fine if he was down for not too long. They were 4-3. So I really just think this puts them back in the top 5 race in the West. I'm looking at the score right now. As of right now, it's 66-65 New York. But Anthony Edwards is kind of having a slow game. Of course, most players have slow games coming back.
He's having a
but
minutes
no, honestly, probably. It gives Julius Randle a bit of a breather. He has been carrying this team for the past week, so it allows him to take a slow down. We'll
get to Julius Randle later.
It allows Dante DiVincenzo and also Rob Dillingham to kind of have to do a little bit less, along with Bones Highland.
Mm-hmm. This is huge. We obviously know the type of player that Anthony Edwards is. This is a guy who has the last 2 seasons been probably the key catalyst for them making the conference finals. And this is a guy who many people are comparing to MJ, which I don't know if that's a little too premature right now, but
very premature.
But he's leading this team that really realistically has no business being in the conference finals. He's led them to the last 2. So this is huge for them. This is huge for him, just to prove, hey, I'm that guy, and he'll be back.
Since we have a little bit of extra time, I want to ask you an opinion. Do you put Anthony Edwards as a top 5 player in the league right now, or is it too early?
I don't know, because obviously you have your Jokic, you have your Giannis, you have your Luka, you have SGA. Maybe you have him in that 5 range, but then obviously you still have KD, you still have Wemby, you still, maybe 8, maybe 7, who knows?
Interesting.
But I don't think he's top 5, but he's definitely top 10 for sure.
Interesting.
No, there's still Steph is still in that conversation also.
Oh yeah, 100%. LeBron top 10 at this point. Maybe 15.
Austin Reeves.
Actually. No, I wouldn't put him there that early. I put AD. I put Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Giannis.
Yeah. Next one is another return. I don't know if you saw this one, but Darius Garland is making his season debut tonight versus Philadelphia, in which I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, they were down 90 to 84.
Right now the score is 112-90 Cleveland.
Wow.
Um, the Cavs are absolutely dominating this game, and they're putting themselves, proving that they are the team to beat in the East. Darius Garland is having a very similar game to Anthony Edwards, slow on a minutes restriction, so he's not going to be too heavy on the
Yeah.
influence. But this doesn't really matter how many points he scores. It just matters the fact that he's back. Cleveland needs a real point guard. And while you and I both agree on the fact that running a two small guard lineup doesn't help them in the long run, this helps them right now. They need him back. He's going to be a lot better for them than having Craig Porter start
Yeah.
or, Dean Wade or Tyrese Proctor. So I really like the fact that Darius Garland's back. I just wonder how long this team can do it for. Because you're taking down the Sixers, that's great. But what happens when you face a team like I don't know, the Thunder, a team like the Spurs, the Lakers? You have to question how long this small ball lineup can work.
Hey, don't knock the Sixers. They're playing really well this year.
The Sixers are fine, yeah, but the Cavs are significantly better. They're the team to beat
Mhm.
the East.
Yeah, I think so for sure. This is a team that you and I both had as first in the East, rightfully so, because they won 60 games last year. We're expecting right around the similar pace this year. I expected around 64 for them. I think you went my 61,
Yeah,
62.
I wasn't as
But
high
yeah,
as they were last season.
which they went 62 and 22 last year. So
So
you are
I
like
said
right at the
60
same.
wins.
Yeah. But yeah, no, getting Darius Garland back is huge for them. They've been lacking that key go-to play, pace setter, playmaker, ball handler, and Donovan Mitchell cannot do what Darius Garland does playmaking wise. So this is great for him, for the Cavs in general, to be back to their old ways. And this is the team that if they once they get going, that we're going to see why everybody expects them to come out of the West East.
God, I hope they do.
Alrighty, now some takeaways because I wrote some takeaways and you wrote some takeaways. First one involves a game that happened on, I think, Monday night or Tuesday night. That involves Los Angeles Lakers beating DeAndre Ayton's old team 123 to 115, in which no Luca, no LeBron, no Austin Reeves, no problem, because DeAndre Ayton had 29 and 15. Is dominating back?
As much as I know you want to say yes, I think you have to take this for what it is. It was a game where there was nobody else. Now, the fact that they were able to take down a decent team in the Blazers without all their stars is awesome. I just think this shows that DeAndre Ayton can be a step up kind of player, but he is not the number two, number one overall guy that we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, but that's what he was in Phoenix. He was the guy that he's having a very
He is having a good season.
2020, 2021 Phoenix Suns season that he had right now, where he was 17 and 9.
One thing I'll say is we're seeing how good this Lakers team is when they have a real center. So I have to give them credit. DeAndre Ayton, a lot of people were crapping on it. I was not too high on it. Right now, let me see what he's averaging on the year.
16
Averaging
and 9.
16.9 and 8 rebounds with 1 assist on 65% shooting from the field.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Look at his 2020, 2021 season. That's pretty much what he was doing that year, where they went to the
Yeah,
finals.
17.2, 10 boards. Yeah, no, I mean
It's
he's in a
pretty,
very similar.
yeah, he's just not shooting threes.
Only thing that you don't get much out of him is a defensive center, but that's kind of
Yeah,
okay.
but he
You
never
have
really was.
LeBron on defense, you have Rui Hachimura, you have Vando, you have a lot of guys off the bench who make up for
Jackson
that.
Hayes.
Jackson Hayes, who is a very good defensive center,
Yeah.
a very underrated defensive center.
Yeah.
I like him. I think that you are going to see him being rejuvenated with this team being fully healthy, but I just don't look at him as a title changing piece. I already looked at them as a title contending team before him.
I do think it's a step in the right direction because it makes them a more complete roster. Because we saw after the Lakers made that Luka Doncic trade last year, how they went out and got Mark Williams because they desperately needed a center, and then the Mark Williams trade fell through. And so their consolation prize was Alex Len. And Alex Len was a center at least, but Alex Len is not on the caliber that a Mark
Yeah.
Williams is, that a DeAndre Ayton is. He's not a guy, he's a guy who can get you like 10 minutes a game. He's
Yeah.
not a guy who should be out there that much. And the fact that they had two of those guys last year that realistically should be getting around 10 minutes a game just goes to show you all you need to know about how DeAndre Ayton is helping the
You
Lakers
know,
in this
while I
season.
agree DeAndre Ayton is helping the Lakers, I also think this shows how good of a coach JJ Redick is. Um,
Mhm.
with the fact that he hasn't had LeBron at all this year, Luke has been dealing with injuries. The fact that they're 6-2 on the
Austin
backs of
Reeves.
Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, and Austin Reeves. And yes, Austin Reeves is proving he is a very clear number one option. Jake LaRavia is looking fantastic for them. Like JJ Redick needs to be given a lot more credit than he is. So definitely great for him. He's playing has
Here's
this
another
team playing hard.
takeaway that I'm here's a takeaway that I'm going to add right now. I get that the Lakers want to get a second superstar. Austin Reeves should not be in that trade package to get another superstar. I will throw every pick for the next 20 years in there before I will throw Austin Reeves in there
I guess that.
because he can be the third guy. He can be. And if Austin Reeves is your third guy, you're doing something right. And that's what they have Gabe Vincent for. That's what they have Rui Hachimura for. That's what they have Jared Vanderbilt for to be those trade pieces. And they still have picks. I don't care about first round picks for the next 20 years. I don't. Give a team the next 20 first round picks you have. I don't care. Austin Reeves should not be one of the trade pieces when they try to get a superstar.
No, I agree. And I think that the problem is he's going to be a guy that is going to be asked about a lot. Um, I don't foresee them making a move for another superstar, if I'm being honest. LeBron's going to retire after this year. I think they're going to see what they can do with Luca when they clear up $52 million in cap space. You're going to see a lot of a different roster being constructed. I could see Aiton getting another year, maybe an extension onto his deal. Reeves is going to get himself a bag. Rui might be a trade package, especially with how good these upcoming drafts are looking. So I would not be surprised if you
And with
see
how well he's
Rui
playing, I know.
Rui and some picks probably centered around maybe a Laurie Markkinen type trade. But
But
I know you wouldn't be high on that. But I'm saying a Laurie Markkinen type player. So that would put, a Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan on the board. But even a Demonis Sabonis, I would not be surprised if they
I
make a
would
move
love
for a guy
Sabonis
like
to be a
him.
Laker.
Oh, I said Sabonis. It's Sabonis, sorry. But no, I really like what the Lakers are building with this team.
Yeah, I do too. The next takeaway is Chicago for real or are they frauds?
I want
Because
to
they're
say
six
they're
and
for
one right
real.
now, but is anybody really impressed with the Chicago Bulls this early in the year?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna bite on it. This team is led. So the reason I'm so high on this team is because their star is a Mark Dagnall product. Their star is a guy who was brought up in the OKC system and knows how to win. Everyone knows Josh Giddey is their guy. He's playing like it, and honestly, I think he's taking a step this year. Once again, he's only 23 years old. He's taking a step
Yeah,
this year to look like he's a top 10
he's
point guard
making 35
in the
million right
NBA,
now.
a top 10 point guard in the NBA at 23 years old. This team knows how to win. They have players who know how to win. Nikola Vucevic is a really, really good player for them at
Mm-hmm.
34.
He had a game winner the other night.
Kobe White is a great scoring piece. Iota Sumu is young and still can play very well. Patrick Williams is starting to come into his own this year. I like what we see out of this team, but the thing is, you have to question if they can handle with the big dogs in the East and the Knicks, Sixers, Cavaliers, and the
Cavs.
Bucks.
The problem is they don't have a big superstar like the teams like the Bucks do, teams like the Sixers do, teams
Like
like
Cleveland.
the Cleveland does,
I mean, the question is
teams like the
who on that
Knicks.
roster will handle who on that roster will match up against Jalen Brunson or
Nobody,
who will match up against Giannis Antetokounmpo or Evan
nobody,
Mobley or
nobody,
Joel Embiid or even Tyrese
nobody.
Maxey or Donovan Mitchell. Hell, when Jason Tatum comes back, who's going to match up against him or Jalen Brown? So you have the question, is this team there right now? And is this team going to bank off of oh no, I just said his name.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey is their guy for the rest of the
Don't
time.
they have they got somebody, Noah Essengay, right?
No,
They got him this
Yeah,
year?
but I just don't know if
Yeah.
he is. I don't know if I look at him as a, franchise moving piece.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. Next question. Can anybody compete with OKC? With all this talk,
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, 100%. I think San Antonio is right there with them. I think San Antonio is a young team and a scary team. The more they get on the same page, I really look at them as the only team in the East, only team in the NBA who can compete with OKC.
Because the Thunder are 8-0, and they realistically practically have not looked good at all this year. They haven't.
Imagine when they
They
get on
haven't
the same
really
page.
looked great.
Imagine when they look good.
I know. It's not even a contest. They're 8-0 right now, and I don't think they care.
The
I
only
don't think they
team
care.
I truly believe the only team that can hold up with them right now is San Antonio. And so the reason I say San
Yeah.
Antonio is because they're such a young team that
Mhm.
they're still figuring it out. This is their
They're
first full
younger
season
right
without
now.
Pop.
They're
And
younger right now
they
without.
are. This is their first full season without Pop, so of course they're figuring it out, and they're still 5-1 or 6-2, 5-1.
They're 5-1 right
Because the
now.
Lakers are 6-2 and they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
So when Dylan Harper, all these amazing young players start getting on the same page and their coaching get figured out, I really don't think anyone besides San Antonio can handle OKC. And I don't even think anyone, whoever comes out of the West this year is probably going to win the finals again.
Fortunately. Because it's not going to be the Lakers, unfortunately. Figures when my teams get good, teams just get a million times better. So, alrighty, next take. I watched a little bit of this game that I'm talking about this for. I watched the game on Saturday where they were in Mexico City between the Pistons and the Mavericks. Cooper Flag right now needs to stop taking threes. He does. He can't shoot them right now. And it's not a knock on him because I know he's a good shooter, but he needs to stop taking one. He took one in the corner the other day that just looked like he alligator armed it and he overshot it so bad. And I was like, he needs to be more patient. He needs to stop taking threes. He needs to let the game come to him. He needs to let his game work and show everybody why he was the first overall pick and one of the most hyped prospects of all time. But he needs to stop taking threes right now.
It's interesting because first off, I fully agree with you. I've watched a lot of, reporting about his game. He is a very talented offensive weapon, but I think what he can do the most right now is play defense. I think he needs to
Mm-hmm.
step up, especially because Anthony Davis is injured. There's not a lot of defense on this team besides maybe Daniel Gafford,
Mm-hmm.
um, and Klay Thompson, who is much past his prime. But let a guy like Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell, Max Christie, even Jalen Hardy, let them take the threes. Let these guys who are known for it, Najee Marshall, let them take the threes.
Here's
Cooper
another
Flag
thing.
needs to be a
Why
defender.
why is he being the primary ball handler
They
right now?
actually moved him off of point guard today. D'Angelo
Good.
Russell is their starting point guard today.
Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll actually help him look better, and he won't be so frantic with having to be
I
their
mean, he still has
playmaker
a
and taking
plus minus
threes.
of -10 right now. He's 6 points, 2 for 5, 1 for 3 from three, 3 boards, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. So not bad.
I
But
mean,
they are
it'll
losing to the
come.
Pelicans.
It'll come once he starts to play his game and not have to be the primary ball handler. Obviously, once Kyrie comes back, it'll be a whole hell of a lot better.
When
But
they're
by the
fully
time
healthy.
Kyrie comes back, it may not matter. He may not win. He probably won't win Rookie of the Year because VJ Edgecombe is having such an amazing season right now. Next one is another game I watched on Peacock. I watched it on Monday. Julius Randle right now is playing like a top 10 player in the NBA. We are seeing him pass the ball amazing. We're seeing his rebounding be as good as it ever has been. He is dominating the scoring right now, and he's playing solid defense. And I think that this is the most complete Julius Randle we've ever seen, and we saw him be really good in New York, and we are seeing an even better Julius Randle
This is
right
the
now,
player. This is the Julius Randle that was taken within the top.
seventh overall.
Like this is the reason we saw him being a top 10 pick. Julius
Yeah.
Randle is a guy who everyone knew was a project, but who could be an absolute game changer for your team, and he's playing that way right now.
I remember
Um,
I've been super high on him his whole
I mean,
career.
you
So
being a Lakers fan, you saw him play, you saw him growing as a player. The Julius Randle hate has always been overforced. Um,
mhm.
no one thinks he's a number one option. No one is sitting here claiming for him to be that. But if you look at him as your number two option, you're very good. Look, I mean, think about this, right? What's it called? The Timberwolves trade away Karl Anthony Towns, a guy who was clearly their number two option for Julius Randle for a reason. They liked
And
what
they go to the conference finals.
they liked what they got out of him. And honestly, they're a great team. They're Anthony Edwards, he complements him very well. If you look at Karl Anthony Towns, he's much more of a ball dominant center versus Julius Randle, who can play off ball very well. He's going to space the floor. He also is a very good facilitator that people do not recognize. So Julius Randle is a clearly, in my opinion, the top one of the five best number two options in the
Oh, I
NBA
think so. Yeah.
by far.
This is not counting LeBron yet because he hasn't even stepped foot on the court.
You can't count
LeBron's obviously number one if we're counting number two options. He
that. You
will
know
be the
what?
number two option this year,
If we
but
get
he's
enough
not.
likes, we'll make that a whole video. Bryce and I ranking every number two in the NBA from 32 to 1 or 30 to
Yeah,
1. Sorry.
30 to 1. Yeah. I don't know why you keep thinking there's 32 teams.
Because we have the NFL background, so I'm thinking about football.
That's true. Alrighty. Next are your two takeaways.
So for me, I put the fact that the East is wide open.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like the West, how you were talking about it, how it really comes down to a few teams. The East can be anyone's game. You have Chicago atop of the East, all the way down to Cleveland at the seventh seed. Who really like? Let's pull up the. I'm going to pull up the standings real quick for the Eastern
I
Conference.
have him up right now.
Perfect. Fire away.
The number one seed is Chicago. Two is Philadelphia. Three is Detroit. Four is Milwaukee. Five is Miami. Six is New York. Seven is Cleveland. Eight is Toronto. Nine is Atlanta. And 10 is Orlando.
In
I
that
forgot to
top
mention an
seven-
injury because Trae Young.
Oh yeah,
Trae Young.
that is a. I think we
That's
can
a
both agree that's a
massive
massive blow. Trae Young, he may not be the best defender, but overall, if you're looking at running an offense, he's one of the best in the league. They need him. They're a young and strong team. That's going to hurt them heavily.
Yeah.
But if you look at the top seven for the East, the only team who look like real frauds out there are Miami.
What?
Outside
Their
of that
offense
top,
has been
outside of
incredible.
Miami and that top seven, any of them can come out of the East. Genuinely,
That top seven has been incredible.
and Bryce has a guest with us. Look at that. Our second ever guest in the show.
Actually, she was the first ever.
She was the first ever
She
guest.
sits on my lap a lot when we
Sorry,
record
Dad.
these.
You were not the first guest. But no, I really believe the East is completely open. To me, I think it's either gonna be Cleveland or Milwaukee who comes out of it. But I mean, the fact that the two best teams in the East are 6 and 7 right now, it shows how good this East is and how wide open it is.
And also, you look at the two teams from the finals that were the top two teams in the East last year. Neither one of them are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Neither one of them.
Boston,
Indiana's
Indiana.
1-6, and Boston is 3-5.
Well, Boston lost to New York. It was New York and Indiana in the conference finals
Yeah.
this year. But
No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, that's
Indiana,
right.
Indiana. But the two top seeds in the East, one of them is not even in the playoffs right now. So, of course, Boston's in with injuries. But no, I mean, you really have to look at how wide open the East is, and I really just don't. You don't know. It really is a coin flip.
Yeah. And I get it's still early, but there's no clear option right now as who will come out of the East. Because you do have Detroit is making a solid case. So is Milwaukee because they still have Giannis. As long as they still have Giannis, they're going to be a threat. Cleveland had 60+ wins last year. Orlando is struggling, but they're still a team that can make some noise as the season goes on. Charlotte is looking like they're playing a lot better right now. And this is a team that if LaMelo Ball is playing, they're going to be a threat to make the playoffs.
And even Boston to an extent, they could squeak their way into the playoffs, and you never know what they're going to do.
They could, yeah.
They could. On the opposite end of the spectrum, my takeaway is that the West really comes down to a 3-team battle. If you look at the top 3 seeds in the West, it's pretty much one of those three: Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and LA.
I think this is both who you and I.
Yeah, we have.
I think this is who you and I were gonna say was our top 3, anyways.
I think
I said Houston.
I had LA above Houston, but looking at the first week of the season, it kind of looked like the same for the East. Anyone's game. I mean, okay, Golden State was looking like one of the best teams. Houston was struggling, but you could still trust them. Denver, but right now it looks like the top 3 seeds in the West are leaps and bounds above everyone else. Denver's just not going to make the push this year. Houston's not ready. Golden State is too old, and Minnesota is too injured.
Yeah, with Anthony Edwards coming back, it's really going to help them. But this is a team, they've made the conference finals the last 2 years. So I think that they're always going to be a threat as long as they have Anthony Edwards. And it looks like Anthony Edwards is back to playing Anthony Edwards basketball again. So this is a threat, but I do see OKC is unquestionably going to be the number one seed. I don't think it's a matter of if somebody said that they're going to break the wins record. I could very well see them
It,
breaking the wins record.
it's not crazy to think they could do that.
It's I think they could get to 74 and it wouldn't be outrageous. But San Antonio is looking really good. The Lakers are looking really good, and Luka has played 4 games, and LeBron hasn't played yet. And Austin Reeves has missed a game.
And that's an interesting thought to me. Do you have to wonder if the Lakers are this good without LeBron? I mean, do they need him?
They don't, but it's kind of like the Seahawks with
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed, which we'll
It's
talk
weird
about
to ever
later.
compare Rashid Shaheed to LeBron, but
But they don't need him, but it's definitely going to be an added luxury for sure. It will be an added luxury for sure.
all right, that is the end of our NBA discussion. Bryce, you did want to bring something else up.
We are lumping this together because we have more time on this one than the NFL one, and that is we're going to talk some WWE news because on Saturday night's main event last Saturday, John Cena announced a tournament, a 16-man tournament to crown his final opponent next month at Saturday night's main event, saying it could be superstars from Raw, NXT, SmackDown, or guys who don't even work here. Who could the guys that don't even work here be? Will there be any of those guys? And if it is someone, will they be the one to face Cena next month? Who will all 16 be? Obviously, 4 have been announced with Rusev versus Damian Priest, and then Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
You know, I think the only realistic names of guys who don't work at the company are Matt Cardona and Joe Hendry. I wouldn't be surprised if NXT or TNA throws some guys out there. Maybe any former WWE guy. So Nick Nemeth could be up there. Moose.
You're
He
forgetting
might not.
two.
Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy.
No, but well, Jeff Hardy maybe.
Who?
But Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson,
He's currently under contract with
and
AEW.
Adam Copeland.
I don't foresee them doing any work with AEW. I sadly do believe that we will not get an if AEW is on the table, it has to be Edge.
Or John Moxley.
No, I say
Mox.
Edge. I say Edge above. Or
I
Cope.
think you have to put Roman. I think you have to put Roman in this tournament. I think you
No.
have to
See,
because
the reason
Roman
you
is one of
don't,
Cena's big ones.
the reason you don't is
Um,
because you can't have him taking a loss.
That's true. You can't have Roman. Cena will lose, or Cena should win. Cena should win his final match. And I'm so sick of it's a retirement match, so they should lose. No,
We all know it's
no.
probably going to be Gunther,
Cena should win. It will be Gunther. I think it will
which
be
I think is the wrong
if
decision.
it's not Adam Copeland, it will be Gunther.
I think it's the wrong decision. I think if you're really going to go with anyone, it should be Carmelo Hayes.
That's true, but they haven't really seemed like they've wanted to build Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo
And
Hayes'
he was their
entire
number
thing-
one draft pick last year, and he hasn't really done anything. Like, do people even know that he's on SmackDown? He's not featured ever. And I know he's teaming right now with The Miz again.
No, they're feuding,
Oh, yeah, that's right. But he's in a program with The Miz.
which could help him.
But
The Miz
you
is
could put The Miz in this tournament because The
probably
Miz
will.
has a huge pass. For
they're
John
going to
Cena.
use this as a payoff for that feud.
What if it's The Rock?
I just don't think because what they're going to have this whole tournament just for The Rock to show up. No, I think they'll probably use this tournament as a payoff for the Miz versus Melo feud. They'll probably have Melo beat Miz, then he'll lose in the next round to like a Rusev.
Because The Miz will cost him.
Yeah. But sadly, I think we know it's going to be Gunther. I think that's the wrong decision. It should be someone who has more history. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
they should have. If they weren't going to make it Cope, they should have had it be AJ Styles.
Yeah.
As
I'm surprised they don't have AJ in it. I'm surprised he's not. Because
he already
they announced the 4 guys from Raw. And then they're going to have obviously 4 from SmackDown, and then 4 from NXT, and then 4 guys who don't even.
I would say
work
TNA.
here.
So my guesses for TNA: Jeff Hardy, Nick Nemeth,
Joe Hendry,
Joe Hendry,
Matt Cardona.
And I wouldn't
Still
be surprised
pretty
if
cool
we
to
see
them again.
out of
but-
TNA. I would not be surprised if we see Joe Hendry and Cardona come out of there.
And then For Raw, who won between Rusev and Damien on?
I did not watch. I'm not
I
gonna
didn't
lie.
even
I think
watch
it's next week,
Raw.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is next week. That's
I
right.
wouldn't be surprised if your SmackDown guys are The Miz, Carmelo Hayes, maybe. Try
I
to.
think it's The Miz, Carmelo Hayes. I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre,
You think
and I think it's going to
Gunther?
be It's got to be Gunther. He's got to be one of them.
Well, that means it'll probably be like Carmelo Hayes versus The Miz, and then Gunther versus McIntyre.
Yeah,
Gunther
and then
beats
I
McIntyre.
think the NXT will be Obafemi. I think it'll be Trick. I think it'll be Ricky Saints, and I think it'll be Ethan Page.
I don't think they'll use either of their champions, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Javon Evans
That
and maybe maybe one of the dark state guys.
So then who would be the final four if that's
Your
the
final
case?
four is probably Gunther.
I imagine they're going to do a final four between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and guys who don't even
I
work
would
here.
say Gunther, Joe Hendry, probably Damian Priest and OFME, which would be
I
if
could
that's
see
a
that
fatal
for sure.
four-way match, that's a
That
fire
that's a
match.
banger. That's a
That
banger.
means Joe Henry probably takes the pin to Gunther.
Unfortunately, yeah. But if Gunther is the guy who retires Goldberg and Cena in the same year, push
The
him to
guy
the
already
damn
has
moon. Push him to the moon.
he already has a
Beat
great
Cody.
resume.
Beat Cody at this point. Dominate Cody in 12 seconds.
I mean,
And
what? He's a
let's
two-time
just be
world champion
honest.
already.
You texted me something earlier today that is so 100% true that I've been right about for the longest time. And that Cody Rhodes is so boring.
So when I say that, it's not that I think Cody Rhodes is a bad performer. I think he's an outstanding wrestler, very entertaining on the mic. Triple H has handcuffed him and tied him
Mhm.
to a sinking
He
boat.
needs to make him Roadlander. That's what he needs to do.
I saw someone talking about how when Vince was in charge, John Cena was the man for a decade and listed off all the people who were champions besides Cena. Cena was the man without holding a title. Triple H, for some reason, thinks that he needs to have the title strapped to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes would honestly, in my opinion, the most entertaining Cody Rhodes has been is while he's been chasing.
Yeah. It was the chase to get to WrestleMania
And
40.
he reminds me a lot of Trick Williams in that. Trick Williams is the kind of guy who doesn't need a title around his waist to be entertaining. His
Yeah.
chase is fun. So I would not mind if we saw him drop the title to an LA Knight or a Drew McIntyre and chase it.
Yeah.
But
And he turns heel because of it.
and
Because
it's
he's
just
so desperate.
and that's where right now he's kind of falling into the big dog Roman. He's getting
Mhm.
so over pushed and so
Mhm.
boring. People are gonna hate him, and they're gonna have
Yep.
to turn him heel.
Alrighty. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching the NBA Week 2. I like talking the NBA. I'm getting back into it. But if you guys liked it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys for the NFL episode.
Peace.
Peace.